The first issue of Crimson Reign is finally out, and what a great first issue it was. Ever since we saw the return of Qi'ra in the War of the Bounty Hunters comic line, I have been wanting to see more of her. This comic is fulfilling that dream, and I can see the story turning into something insane by the time the 5-issue story arc comes to a close. The issue opens up with an orb that's believed to be a holocron of some sort. After coming in contact with the orb, a figure appears almost like a hollow, and begins to tell the story that becomes the comic of Crimson Reign. The story opens with Qi'ra, now in charge of Crimson Dawn, gathering forces for a new plan she has put into place. Some notable characters that she enlists in her plan include the Knights of Ren, with Ren himself, Deathstick, and Ochi of Bestoon. She begins to explain to her audience that there is a power struggle in the galaxy caused by two people, the Sith. She knows this because of all of the knowledge Maul had given her when he was the leader of Crimson Dawn. But now with him out of the way and Qi'ra in charge, she plans to take the information and secrets that Maul gave her to do the impossible. She wants to kill Vader and Palpatine. Everyone in this meeting is given special tasks to carry out in order for her plan to work, starting with Qi'ra herself going to meet with Lord Qi'ra of the Black Sun Syndicate. Her plan is simple: use false information to get what she needs. She explains to Lord Qi'ra that the Hutts attacked an Imperial flagship. Everyone is aware of this, but Qi'ra throws in a lie by saying that Emperor Palpatine is furious about this attack and as a result is looking to switch out his partnership with the Hutts for a new organization. While Qi'ra does this, other members of her newly found crew are out talking with more underground criminals such as Papa Turan and the Pike Syndicate, all telling the same story. I do think it's cool to note too that during the conversation Qi'ra requests that Lord Qi'ra pass the information along to Prince Xizor. I'm not sure if Prince Xizor has been mentioned already in canon, as I don't read a lot of the comics, but knowing that he's canon again is really awesome. As these conversations are taking place, Chanith and the orphans have their plans from Qi'ra and are about to act. We learn that they gave themselves the name orphans because the Empire took everything from them, including Chanith's parents, giving them more reason to work alongside Qi'ra to bring them down. Chanith and the orphans land on Dantooine and begin making their way into a secret Black Sun stronghold, where they then proceed to wipe out everyone inside, as well as two ships attempting to escape and make the jump to lightspeed. By doing so, Black Sun is kept in the dark about the whole situation. No distress calls were made, and no one made it out. They didn't just leave them in the dark, however, as they take pictures of the destruction and upload it to the shadow feeds for everyone to see. And without knowing who the attacker is, Lord Qi'ra decides they should strike back at all of their enemies at once. The orphans had a very successful track record with their missions, with the end result being all of the underground syndicates fighting with themselves over attacks that none of them caused. All of this is causing such a huge problem, and even Palpatine himself hears about it and summons Vader to his side. Meanwhile, the Knights of Ren are given their assignment, breaking into Vader's castle, and Ochi of Bestoon and Deathstick wait patiently for their roles to start. The Hollow Woman from the beginning of the comic, also known as the Archivist, explains her role as well, that of which being attempting to hunt down remaining Jedi that may have survived Order 66, as they could be very useful when going against the Empire. Everything seems to be going really well until the last 2 pages, where the Archivist says that this is the story of the fall of Crimson Dawn. This story is a tragedy, ending the first issue. This was one of the best comics I've read in quite a while. Seeing all of these incredible characters all together in one place is really cool to see, and the plot is wild too. Obviously, without the last page telling us that this is a tragedy, we could all probably guess that Qi'ra is unsuccessful, as we can see from the original trilogy. But either way, I still think that this is a story worth following. Getting time with these characters that have only been mentioned before in other projects is great, and I hope that it actually lays out some character development as well. But that's my quick rundown and review of issue 1 of Crimson Reign. I highly recommend this comic to Star Wars fans, as it's just a really good story. Charles Soule's writing is great as always, and the artwork done by Stephen Cummings is just so sharp. The style is perfect for the story. But what did you think? Did you like Crimson Reign issue 1? What do you think of Qi'ra now being the leader of Crimson Dawn? And what do you think is going to happen at the end of the 5-issue arc? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. As always, be sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't. And remember, the Force will be with you. Always.